to Jackalope Tales, Urban Legends in Music. I'm your host, Charles Mooney.
And I'm Lisa Umbarger. And Charles and I are founding members of the Toadies, and now we're podcasting.
Hey, here we are.
Doing stuff?
Yep. We are just talking about interesting topics. We got a good one today.
Yeah, this is pretty interesting. This is close to our hearts.
It really is. I mean, wrestling
and musicians. So there's the close
Iron Sheik.
Exactly.
Yes. And I didn't buy this for the podcast. I already had it.
Right.
So
pulled it out of the mini wrestling shirts that you have.
In Austin.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. At Waterloo.
That's freaking cool.
Yeah. A little history.
Right. Well, also, the people we're going to talk about, besides ourselves in wrestling, are Bad Bunny and Liberace. Which, everyone's like, Liberace in wrestling? Oh, yeah.
I was one of those.
Right.
I was like, no.
It's such a weird past.
God. I mean, the flamboyance and all that. But
totally
we'll get
fits.
into that.
Totally fits.
Oh, but I mean, growing up, I really did love wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was Friday nights. Shit. I mean, that's a long time ago when the Von Erichs
It's Fridays or Saturdays at the
may have been
Sportatorium.
Yeah. And I think it would come on at 10 o'clock.
Right. Stay up late.
Yeah. But when I was like in second or third grade, I drew a picture with some naughty words on it, and the teacher found it. And then I ended up getting in trouble. And my parents, they made me take it to my parents. And my punishment was 2 weeks without watching wrestling. And it really hit me hard.
You're devastated.
I was like, I mean, take my testicles. Don't take my wrestling. Because, I mean, Von Erichs were probably supposed to wrestle.
That's when Fritz was still wrestling.
Oh, my
Fritz
God.
Von Erich.
The Claw.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I was so into it.
I watched it with my dad. It was fun.
Oh, man.
It was just crazy. The Rock, his dad wrestled.
What? Was he the Pebble?
No, yeah, that would have been funny. Wasn't his? I can't remember his name, but he was one of my favorite wrestlers at the time because he was a good guy.
What?
And
okay,
he would always tag team with one of the Von Erichs or whatever. I think his name was Rocky.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
It'd be funny, but yeah, his dad was. You would recognize his name, and I can't remember it off the top of my head.
Okay.
But
Google it.
Yeah. But we have a love for wrestling.
Oh, yes.
And this is just a really weird connection and how it fell into our laps. But
yeah. Well, it all started because, I mean, when we work in a record store together, and we go to school and we work. And when you get your paycheck at a record store and you love music, you're blowing all your money on music.
Yes, you are.
It's like, oh, hell yeah, 10% employee discount. So it was like you blow all your money. So all your money's going
What colored
right
vinyl
back.
of the album I already have 3 of? Of course.
So we ended up basically leaving without money or working for music.
Right.
And we had our first show at the Axis, which we talked about on that bonus content with the flyer. And going to the venue, we ran out of gas on University Drive. Todd was driving his yellow van, and the fucker didn't fill up his tank.
Well, none of us had money for gas either.
But still, if he's going to be the driver, he needs to make sure we get there. We would have all pitched
in a few bucks.
I mean, can you realize how low the tank must have been? Because he lived in an apartment off of Ridgemar, and all we're doing is going to University, and we run out of gas.
Yeah, so it's not very far for those of you who don't live in Fort Worth.
Yeah.
So
a mile, 2 miles.
A few miles down the road.
Yeah. So we knew we needed money.
Right.
Yeah.
And we have a friend who had this little indie record store. His name is Randy Brown.
Randy? Yeah.
And the record store is called Slacker Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right. You're right.
And
but he had a little side.
He had a side hustle because he also he's a bigger wrestling fan than us because he met all the guys and he has pictures of himself with Ric Flair and he liked the bad guys.
Oh, hell yeah.
And autographs and all that kind of stuff. collects the
Randy,
action.
post some of those pictures.
Yes.
Oh,
Collects the action figures.
Oh, yes.
But his side hustle was on the weekends because record stores, especially indie record stores, would make a little bit of money, but not a whole lot.
Yeah.
So the way that he, settled things up was a backyard wrestling promoter.
God, yeah.
And when we were talking to him about this, he was like, "Hey, you guys should do this. We found out how much some of the wrestlers were making just in backyard wrestling."
I know.
We're like, how do you get in on this action?
Yeah, because here we are, a band. We don't have enough money to really, it's either on equipment or music.
Right. We got to buy guitar strings. We have gas to go to the shows.
Mm-hmm.
So we decided as a band to make a little bit of extra money wrestling.
Yep. And it was, at the time, the band was Todd, myself, you, and Matt
Winchell.
Yeah.
So. And so we all agreed. Mm-hmm. And we got together and drank a lot of Keystone Light beer.
Yes.
And came up with our wrestling personas.
Oh,
and our personas were
because
weird.
No, they were. But that was kind of the way we were.
It was drunken hilarity.
Oh God. When we came up with those names, we were laughing our asses off thinking about it. Because of course, Todd became Slowpoke.
Yes. And it was like when Todd drinks, he gets real slow and he's real tall and skinny. Mm. And we thought he looked like Slowpoke Rodriguez from the Speedy Gonzalez cartoons.
The real thin mouth.
Right.
Yeah.
And he would get real slow and talk real slow and his arms would move. So he was Slowpoke.
Yep. He was Slowpoke. And then I came up with the Mighty Upchuck.
Right. That's so funny.
Because of course, Charles Chuck. And I remember being like nervous about doing this whole thing. And it was like, okay, wait a second. I loved Kabuki, one of the wrestlers, because he would go and he'd spray that spray in the air. And then there'd be a point in the match where it's like, oh, he's going to spray their face. Right. And he'd do it and they'd blind them and all this stuff. And it was like, oh man. And then Gene Simmons, of course, Kiss fan in the old days. And I'm like, oh my God, maybe with the anxiety and upchuck, why don't I throw up on my victims? And you helped me come up with that idea because I was like, I need a gimmick. And you're like, well, if you could throw something in their face. And I'm like, oh my God.
Vomit.
Yeah.
Vomit.
Right. And we'll get more into that in a second. But you had a thing with Matt where.
Right. So Matt is real tall.
Oh.
I'm short.
Yep.
And we thought it would be hilarious. Also, Matt was a beautiful man because he had this long flowing hair and just really pretty.
Always played without his shirt on.
Right. He was a pretty boy.
He was like all healthy and he did construction. So he's like,
so he's a buff, pretty boy. And so Matt and I were a tag team because we're the rhythm section.
Yep.
And we were called the Flying V's. Like the flying vaginas.
Not the guitar.
Not the guitars, V. Which is really funny if you're in a band, say Flying V's, but the flying vaginas.
Oh my God.
The Flying V's.
Oh. And, but that, there's so many memories that came from that. And we did pretty good with some money.
A lot.
Oh God.
At the backyard wrestling gigs.
We always had to keep up with him to make sure he showed up for your tag team matches.
Pink tights turned the ladies on.
Oh God. God. And see, oh man, all the stories that I remember about it. I remember my first match because I was wanting to have some intro music because of course we're musicians.
Right.
And so we had this jam box at my parents' house and with a cassette player. And I was like, oh my God, I had got the Misfits on cassette. And I queued it up to Die, Die, My Darling.
Oh, my God.
Because I wanted to come in on that one.
I remember.
So I queued it up that afternoon. And then I think we went and did some stuff. And I came back and grabbed the jam box and then got out to the wrestling match. And I had Todd start it. And damn it, if my dad hadn't put in his Chuck Mangione cassette.
I don't remember that at all.
Because the Chuck Mangione song, his greatest hit, that feels so good.
Right.
The ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. And and Todd, he was so drunk he didn't turn it off. So I had to march to the ring with Chuck Mangione playing. But you see, that's where the stars all align, because you're like, oh my God, Chuck and up Chuck.
Oh my God.
And it was like, so Chuck Mangione became my intro music.
See, I don't remember that. I guess because I was so nervous, I never did watch anything. And we were drinking a lot because they always had a keg and you buy a red cup and you got to drink. And
yeah, no,
it's $5 for a red cup.
Yeah.
And what was it, like $7 to get in, or 10 to get into the wrestling match?
Yeah. And I think I remember one time they didn't think you were a wrestler.
Oh yeah, they were
trying to charge you at the door.
I was like, lifted up my shirt and I was like, I'm wearing a tutu.
I'm a flying vagina.
Get this leotard on for nothing. Come on.
See, that all screwed up. And then so you had your tag team stuff that y'all would do, and I mean that went
so the funniest thing that we would do is Matt would lift me up on his shoulders and then throw me on the shoulders of the other person. And it was called the Flying V Squish. And our costumes, so we wore pink leotards. And remember, we had those Velcro merkins that we put in the crotch area.
Yes. Oh,
and
God. It was the perfect vagina outfit.
And so we would rub our merkin fur on the person's head and pretend like it created a bunch of friction.
And Matt's kind of funky like that, so he had no problem doing any of this.
The merkin. In fact, the other day I was talking to him. He still has his merkin,
and he's tall. So when you were on his shoulders, I was
way up there.
You were like 8 feet, 9 feet up.
Right, but he would just like lift me over and like throw me on the other person's shoulders.
Oh God! And
that's how we would tag out.
And see, I was so jealous of you having the tag team thing, and I don't know if you remember, but I convinced Todd to be my partner for one to try it out.
Yeah.
So here's Mighty Up Chuck and Slowpoke. And I remember it because the name of the other team was the BJ Brothers from Cleburne.
Oh my God, yes, I remember them.
They kind of had a mullet kind of thing.
Yeah, they were definitely backyard wrestlers.
Yeah. I mean, you know what the hell you're doing.
Yep.
And I let Todd start, and that fucker was so drunk that night, he didn't remember which corner I was at. So I never got tagged.
Oh, it was just Slowpoke out in the ring.
Slowpoke out in the
fighting
ring.
Those guys in cutoffs.
Yeah. And they finished him with their last move was the rotisserie. And it was like, God damn it, Slowpoke, because he kept going to the other sides, and I got to follow the rules. I mean, I'm reaching out, and he's going all directions. Damn drunk. But
I hope we can find some video of that. Maybe Randy has some video of that.
If we could,
because man, it was so fun. I mean, a lot of people in Fort Worth and surrounding Fort Worth cities came to those. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot to do on the weekends.
Oh no,
there was only one club, and that was the Axis.
Yep,
and there was not a whole lot more to do.
No. That was about all. I mean, and it really got popular.
Right.
And then it's like we started realizing, well, we can't break anything because we need our bones or anything.
Right.
Because we need to play music.
A couple of times getting hit with a chair or whatever just was not fun.
Oh, God. But I loved putting soup in the Ziploc.
Oh, because explain to everyone how you did the upchuck.
So what I would do is it was like the bout would be happening, and whether I wanted it to look like blood or bile, I would either use chicken noodle soup
Yep.
or tomato soup.
Yep.
And basically ziplock it up and kind of have it in the corner. And then when the opponent was down, I would start kind of acting like I was hitting anxiety and the stomach starting to bug me. And I'd kind of kneel down near that corner, pack the bag and then right into their face. And it kind of the drama of like, I can't see. And pin those motherfuckers.
Right.
Oh.
Who was it that you vomited into their mouth? What was that wrestler? Do you remember that?
Oh God!
Because there was a whole thing. And he was like, "Just go for it. It's just soup." And it was like, roomed up your soup, and you vomited in his mouth. I wanted to throw up.
God,
I can't remember.
Throw up.
Maybe Randy can remember because that was.
I know.
It made everyone like, ugh.
Yeah, because I think it's one of those things where he thought he could handle it. And then it was like,
it didn't work well.
Yeah. And plus, we wouldn't really do it during the summer because it was too hot and we'd sweat in our costumes.
Well, no one wanted to do anything during the summer that was outside anyway. So
not in Texas.
Yeah. So this was mostly just a fall through winter and spring. And then it ended in May.
We were seasonal wrestlers. Yeah.
I think we tried to do a couple of times in the summer. But it was just brutal.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Could not do it.
No.
And the mosquitoes. Yeah.
No. And I remember that summer when I didn't have tomato or chicken noodle and I had to do cream of mushroom. And that, no.
Yeah.
I knew that was not our time of the year. So
maybe we can get the whole backyard wrestling team back together because that would be really amazing.
Oh, my God.
It was fun. Have like a reunion.
A geriatric wrestling match.
Probably wouldn't wrestle, but maybe we could go get barbecue.
Oh, yes.
Backyard
now
barbecue.
You're talking.
Just a reunion kind of thing.
Burn ends.
Right.
But yeah, so now to get on to the other musicians, I was going to be talking about Bad Bunny.
Yep. We've talked about him before. He gets around. He does a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he just like us has been a fan of wrestling ever since he was a little kid. And all these different musicians that have tried wrestling. I mean, what comes to mind is Lou Albano, I think was Cyndi Lauper's manager. And even Cyndi Lauper got involved with
Cyndi Lauper was part of WrestleMania 1.
Yeah. And then even though he wasn't, well, I guess you could say Andy Kaufman was a musician because he did that. The Superman.
Mighty Mouse.
Yeah, that's right.
To save the day.
Yeah. And he got involved in it. I mean, all these different people, but they never could quite pull it off. But
yeah,
I mean, in a way they could. It was always interesting. But Bad Bunny, I mean, reading the reviews of
he actually wrestled.
He did.
Really?
He started off because it was in 2021. He started making appearances on WWE because he was such a fan. So he'd kind of be a person on the side, maybe doing the color commentary. And then in 2022, he got involved and he wrestled in WrestleMania 37.
Really?
So,
okay.
And he ended up doing the story behind it all was you had a wrestler called The Miz and then a wrestler called John Morrison, who was this guy with a mullet. But anyway, these are kind of the bad guys,
right?
Of the wrestling.
Mullet means bad. just so we know this.
That's true. I do turn around and walk the other way when I see a mullet.
Right.
Yeah. But with the feud that started happening, you had Miz and John Morrison. They're kind of like us. They're kind of D-list influencers, but they think they're A-list influencers.
John Morrison, is that the guy from Glee?
Oh,
is he?
I don't know. We'll have to look. But they were trying to convince Bad Bunny to merge brands with them because they wanted to be singers. And then, of course, Bad Bunny is like, no, go to hell. Well, they start throwing tantrums. They vandalize Bunny's car. They attack him with a guitar. I mean, is this all kind of the ploy of wrestling? You don't know.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
And
I
then
forget we're talking wrestling.
And then they even released a really weird diss track, and they're almost like rappers where they go after each other. And they even said in their song that, to Bad Bunny, they said you rock, but Nickelback rocked harder. Which is
that's a pretty
that's
good
bad talk.
Yeah, that's
oh, that's fighting words.
Yeah.
But so Bad Bunny, Puerto Rican American and singer, producer, does all this stuff. He actually stepped into the ring, and he ended up getting into a tag team.
Okay. With who?
You'll be able to identify this being a flying V. With Damian Priest, who was also a Puerto Rican American wrestler.
I bet you they're friends.
outside.
Yes. They're probably just like, dude, come on, bro, let's do this. Let's have fun.
Exactly. And of course, WWE, it's almost like an action soap opera.
Right.
Because then after the match, which they won, then he and the Damian Priest become enemies.
What?
And I saw some YouTube video where Bad Bunny was whacking Damian Priest with one of those Japanese sticks where it's like a whole bunch of little sticks wrapped together. But it was the weirdest thing, though, seeing Bad Bunny come into the wrestling event, because they're in huge letters, when they do their grand entrance.
Mm-hmm.
It said Bad Bunny. And
that's a really bad wrestling name. We thought Slowpoke was a bad wrestling name.
I mean, he lived up to Slowpoke, that bastard. Never tagging me. But yeah, it was really interesting, though. People have really liked Bad Bunny. I mean, he's even on the video games as a character. You pay extra and you get Bad Bunny with his finishing moves.
What's his finishing move? I want to know.
Well, he had two moves. He has the Bunny Destroyer and then the Chinchilla Split. And those are his.
What? Those don't sound menacing at all.
No, I know. It's but they really say
he's got the bunny cuddle. And then he's got the hippity hop.
Yeah, the cottontail bump. Yeah. But yeah, they've always talked about how most Shaq tried to be a wrestler one time. Right. They said Floyd Mayweather was decent, but Bad Bunny is really Floyd Mayweather. Did I say Merriweather?
Yeah, I was I know Floyd Mayweather. The boxer,
Floyd.
Right?
Yeah, Floyd Mayweather. Thank you for changing my Mary to May. But they expect him to be doing more. Now, when he fought Damian Priest, he hurt his back, and it was like a year before he started touring. So
you can get hurt. Even let's just come right out. It is all fake. Yeah. It's fake. But you have to have a certain amount of athleticism to do the fake stuff. Right? To sell it. And you can get hurt. Even when you're just horsing around, you can get hurt pretty bad.
Well, I mean, I get hurt carrying the groceries.
Right, exactly.
It's like, I mean, your body can only handle so much stuff. Right. And when you're getting thrown around, and I mean, yes, it's a fake chair, but you're still getting whacked, right? Thrown off the ring into a table.
BJ brothers are sitting on your back, pummeling the back of your head.
Yeah, and they're about to rotisserie me, and it's like, fuck this. Do we really need gas money? Maybe. Well, see, they didn't have Uber back then when we could.
But I mean, you did get a new amp out of it.
Oh, thank God for that, Randall. Yeah.
Right.
I know, because
maybe Bad Bunny uses that to pay for his rehearsal space too. Is that extra cash?
He's really getting some good cash then for his rehearsal space. So, but now that one kind of makes way more sense than yours.
Yeah. Liberace. I mean,
I think I fucking laugh every time you say Liberace and wrestling together.
Right. Because I was out on wrestling by the time WrestleMania and all that stuff
Yeah,
started happening.
yeah.
I didn't like Hulk, Hulkamania, and all that crap. I never did like
Von
it.
Erichs, all the
Yeah.
classics.
And you know, I liked Andre the Giant, but that was probably only the WrestleMania dude that still carried over that I liked.
He was one of the ones.
Are you suffering from high-quality podcasts? You see, quality podcasts stimulate parts of your brain, leading to an irksome condition called thinking. But suffer no more, my friend. Introducing Discount Storytime's blend of fictional nonsense and rancid gibberish to provide soothing relief. Try Discount Storytime today. Available on most podcast catchers and at discountstorytime.com.
Consult your healthcare provider before listening to Discount Storytime. Not intended to treat unicyclitis, pickleball liver, or jittering expectations.
But I never did, like, in TV days, I was focused on music. Wrestling was gone in my life.
Yeah.
I really didn't watch it a whole lot. So I missed it when Liberace was part of WrestleMania. So in 1985 at Madison Square Garden, WrestleMania was unleashed. It was the first WrestleMania, 1985.
Oh my!
So this has been going on for a long freaking time.
Holy hell! Yeah.
Yep. And in that WrestleMania, the special guest timekeeper was Liberace.
Whoa. Okay.
Yep.
I mean, with all the rings and everything.
Yeah.
And
you know, it was all a big production, and Liberace was introduced, and he entered the ring with 4 women. He was in the middle, and they did a Rockette style intro in the middle of the ring. I am shocked at his flexibility. Like, seriously,
he's kicking too. He's not just standing
with the
there?
Rockettes. They have their arms and they're doing Rockette kicks for at least 5 minutes, probably about 10 minutes, and they're facing each way in the ring and doing this. And I'm going, I'm tired watching it. He's an old man. I'm an old woman now, but and I was just like, holy shit, okay.
Wow.
Liberace's got some pizzazz to him. He got a little spice.
Oh yeah.
And he
was
kept
he dressed
doing it.
in all white and everything?
I can't remember what he was wearing, but it was
he was so flamboyant.
Glammed up for the ring.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just like, hell yeah, this is great. And the funniest thing is the Wrestle fans were eating it up, which it doesn't seem like wrestling fans and Liberace mix. It's like oil and water.
Right. You would expect someone a little bit more on the rougher side.
Yeah. But they liked the showmanship, I guess. Whole.
Yeah.
They love over the top.
The pomp and circumstance of
Holy
Liberace.
Cow. Yeah. So, but that over the top flamboyance just totally fit.
Okay.
Then. And it was good.
It is the first one too. I mean,
yeah, it's the first one, and I guess it's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Introduction. No one knows what to expect, and then you got Liberace
doing kicks.
But many people don't know that Liberace had a very, very short career, but he had a career in wrestling.
He actually did wrestle.
Right. So he wasn't just a timekeeper, and this is why I think he got pulled in to the guest timekeeper, because he actually wrestled.
Wow.
So here's the story.
Yeah.
And it was in the 1950s. So let me take you back a ways to the old timey wrestling. In the 1950s, Liberace was one of the biggest entertainment draws in Hollywood.
Yeah.
He was a big name. Everyone knew who he was. But at that time, the studios owned all of the entertainers and actors' contracts. And those contracts were very strict about what you could and could not do. And a lot of the actors kind of felt like prisoners. Liberace was one. He felt very constricted by the rules. And this is a very flamboyant man, and he's having to dress like they say and date these women that they pick in Hollywood. And he wanted to have a bit more spice in his life, like the Rockette kicks, right?
Yeah.
And so he figured out a way to do it.
Okay.
And wrestling was the gateway.
What?
Yeah. So he was already a wrestling fan,
Yeah.
and he was watching a wrestling match with some friends,
Yeah.
and he was talking to one of the promoters,
Uh-huh.
and he was like, I'm going to do this. And the
Wow.
promoter is like, okay, but you can't wrestle as yourself because
Yeah.
everyone knows who you are. And he's like, okay, well, I'm going to put on a mask.
Ah, the old mask.
And he
Yeah.
wrestled under the name Fuzzy Rocco. And I was just like, how did he come up with that name? No one knows how he came up with the name for Fuzzy Rocco.
It's so New York.
I know,
though.
right?
I mean, being
Yeah.
a New Yorker. Yeah.
And so
Fuzzy.
Right. So he wore a gold mask because he
Yeah.
had to cover his face. No one could see it was him. In fact, all of the other wrestlers did not know it was Liberace. It was a big secret.
Wow.
So he had a gold mask,
Uh-huh.
gold cape, and gold little trunks.
So
Okay.
it's like Liberace wrestling with
Right.
all that
Right.
flamboyance.
The only thing that's missing is a candelabra and a piano, right? So
right.
so he had 3 fights, or I guess matches. They don't call
Yeah,
them fights.
yeah.
He had 3 matches until right before his 4th match,
Mhm.
something happened.
Ooh.
He was standing in the back of the arena in the shadows, and because he loved to watch wrestling, right?
Yeah.
And Killer Kowalski was. Do you remember Killer Kowalski?
I
He's
do.
that big guy, bald head.
Yes.
Was fighting Gorgeous George that night.
Okay.
And Killer Kowalski came through the doors and was walking down one of the main aisles to his match.
Yeah.
And Liberace wadded up a cup, because they had those paper cups that they would give sodas and stuff
Oh,
in.
yeah. Yeah.
He wadded up a cup and threw it at Killer Kowalski's head, and it hit him on the back of the head.
Ooh.
And this did not set well with him.
Oh,
And he turned around and jumped on Liberace and started beating the crap out of him.
Oh, shit. Because
And
he doesn't know who he is.
he doesn't know who he is,
and
but I'm guessing he didn't care. He
Yeah.
thought it was probably just like some idiot.
Some punk little newbie
And it was-
wrestler.
Yeah, and this was not faked. He was beating the shit out of Liberace.
Oh, my God.
And Gorgeous George came over and was like, shit, this is going to be great. This is good drama.
Oh, no.
And he picked him up, and down the aisle, they proceeded to have a huge fight in the middle of the aisle. So they wrestled in the aisles, and all the fans loved it. And Gorgeous George, helped a fan and looked like the good guy. And, and it's funny because Gorgeous George was always the guy that would just kind of preen himself in a mirror. He had someone that held up a mirror and stuff.
Mhm.
So that should have been Liberace's character, right?
It should have been.
So I think it's so funny that Gorgeous George is the one who rescued Liberace. So
poor Liberace.
Poor Liberace. So
getting
he's
busted,
right.
and beaten.
So they pick him up, they take him back into the dressing room, the green rooms, and
Picked him up.
yeah, because he was messed up. He had his head like hit up against the floor, and
Oh God.
hearing in his left ear, he was missing.
No,
He could not hear.
What?
Yes. So he got up and he was like, man, yeah, I'm a little shaken up, not bloodied or anything, but I guess he got his ears boxed,
Yeah.
and one of the pops up against his ear hurt his ear.
Oh.
Did not rupture his ear canal, but left him with the ringing in the ear,
Okay.
and he couldn't hear.
Oh man.
So he decided he was not going to wrestle anymore because
wow.
that was a fun thing and a way for him to escape from his life.
Yeah.
But he didn't want to fully escape from that life. He
Oh.
wanted, his first love was music,
Ah.
right?
And he got injured without being in a match.
Right.
That's
Right. Because his other fights, he was, so he lost every match. Let's just be clear about that. So he was one of those extras that would show up and basically the villain would pummel him,
Yeah.
and you get to yell at him because this is a really nice guy. He played a really good character.
Yeah.
And the villains would beat him up and win within the first few seconds of the match, and probably do something illegal and win.
Oh.
So he never did win, and he for sure didn't win outside of the match. He
Right.
with the
no.
Killer Kowalski beat the crap out of him.
Man, he's a good throw with a cup.
Right?
Man,
Yeah.
he should have used some of those rocket kicks.
I know, right?
Like his
Right in the
finishing move
nuts?
could be the rocket
Because I'm sure they don't.
into the
Yeah.
nuts.
I mean, because if you watch, they don't wear cups.
no,
You see
no.
everything bouncing around.
Oh yeah, with those tighties on.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, I can see your wiener. And maybe you should wear a cup, dude, because something could happen.
God.
Anyway.
Poor Liberace.
Right.
Well, at least he kept his fingers all straight, so he could
Right.
keep
I know, because he
playing.
can tickle the ivories.
Tickle the ivories.
Ooh, that should have been his move.
Ooh. Come over and
on his butt. Roll him over and sit on his back and on his butt.
and then deliver the big rocket.
Right. Which is like he puts licks his finger or the huck twag or whatever it is. Anyway, hawk to whatever it is. I don't even know what it is.
I
I'm
know
old.
it's already losing popularity.
Yeah, I don't like it. I'm gonna name it something else.
It's
whatever.
the Tua Hawk.
Right.
We've made our own thing.
It's the
Tua Hawk.
rocket.
Yeah.
Now it's just the rocket. So the amazing thing is, I guess who's the promoter for WrestleMania?
Oh.
What's that guy's name? Someone's going to answer it for us. But
please do.
you know, when he found out that
McMahon?
yes,
Yeah.
so when he found out that Liberace had this history of wrestling,
Yeah.
he was like, dude, let's ask him back. We need as much star power as we can get in WrestleMania 1.
Yeah.
So, and Liberace was honored, like completely honored when they were like, come back as the timekeeper. He was like,
right.
Fuck yeah.
You don't have to wrestle.
Right. He was like,
Yeah.
yes, I love this sport. And so he comes back and he's the timekeeper. And the really amazing thing is that wasn't the last one that he was a part of.
Yeah.
So in quite a few, at least half a dozen more WrestleManias, he showed up and did various things like the guest announcer.
Oh, yeah.
And
Man.
yeah, so he got to be a part of WrestleMania and still have that little piece of him that he had left behind in the 50s.
I mean, talk about having a flamboyant timekeeper.
Oh my God.
I mean, I could
right?
see him going,
Yeah.
just, that would have been a sight.
So I don't know. I think it's pretty cool.
It really is cool.
And who would have thought?
Never. No. I know Liberace, but always
Right.
for the plane.
And, everyone knows about, or pretty much everyone knows Cyndi Lauper and that kind of stuff. But,
And if you can kick when you're old,
oh, God.
hey, tons of kudos.
I can't.
I
have trouble not falling down.
No. I know. I pull cramps not kicking.
Oh, man.
Oh.
We're to the good part.
There
of the
it
show.
is. The kazoo. That's our timekeeper.
It is our timekeeper.
Yeah. Whenever we hear the kazoo, we go to our
We know.
corners
And it's time
and we
for
talk
the-
about 1-star
Once-
reviews.
yeah. This is the Lone Star Salute, folks.
Yes. Yeah. We get to express anger, frustration, hatred for
Judgment.
anything. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Extreme judgment.
Oh, it can be harsh.
Yeah.
But yeah, about anything music.
Yep.
Could be an album, could be a show.
I've got an album.
Do
this time.
you?
I do.
I do too, but I want you to go first then.
My album is the Love and Music Festival Live by
Okay.
Liberace. And can I just mention, my parents had this album.
No.
Yeah, they had this
Wow.
album, and I remember listening to it. It's got like a Carpenter's cover. It's got some cover songs on it. So,
Okay.
well, I guess most of Liberace's are covers, aren't they? He didn't write anything.
I don't know. I mean,
I
I
don't
just
think he
know him
wrote
as
anything.
a person. I've never listened to his music.
Right. I think he was mostly known for his
Yeah.
Liberace rather than his music.
Oh,
Although he
yeah.
was a lovely pianist.
He was
And
really
I said
like
pianist,
the
not pianist.
He was really like the first Elton John.
Oh my God, right?
That flamboyance and
Yep.
everything. Okay.
This album is reviewed by Break Wind, which okay, Break Wind.
Now, did he spell it Brake or Break?
W-E-A-K.
Okay, so he's not
He's
even
breaking
having a
wind.
little bit of irony.
No, it's break wind.
Okay.
So, Mr. Breakwind, because no woman's going to say their name is Breakwind. So this is a Mr. Mr. Breakwind. I have never heard Liberace until this day. And now I have. Well, it is what it is. A completely watered down, lush, shiny piano playing, overly pleasant music that will make your grandma drop her panties. No one wants to see that, and no one wants to hear music that makes that happen. This album won't make your grandma climax, but she is definitely going to be naked. You should pass on this one.
Oh my God, that's good.
Thank you, Mr. Wind.
And I have to follow that one. Wow. Ooh, man, I do like Mr. Wind.
Mr. Wind's like, he's got some words.
Yeah. Do you remember even having an opinion about the Liberace album? Did you ever hear your parents play it?
I don't remember it.
Okay.
I don't remember that one, but I just remember the cover. And, so back in the day when they had those record players where you could stack like 5 records.
Oh, hell yeah.
And it
usually
would just play them.
Yeah.
It was like having a CD mixer thing. So on Saturdays when we would clean house, my dad would stack up 5 records.
Shit, y'all had that much to clean?
Well, we did outside too.
Oh,
and we had the speakers that were hooked on the outside of the house so you could listen to music on the outside through the little console.
See, your dad loved music.
Yeah, so it played
so cool.
Speakers in each of the rooms on.
Okay.
So everyone's bedroom had a little, like a 5-inch speaker in the wall. So it sounded really crappy and monotone, but the whole house was full of music. And my dad would put 5 records and we would.
Was he always the DJ he would choose?
My mom would have her opinion and she would put Wilson Pickett or something.
But they didn't let you all make a call.
Every once in a while they would.
Look at that.
But I mean, we're playing their records.
Good.
Right.
Yeah.
We're playing their records anyway. So
yeah.
It's what they like because they bought it. Right.
That's too cool.
Yeah.
That's too cool. Well, the one that I am reviewing is the wrestling album.
Wait, there's a wrestling album.
Oh, what? Yes. And it came out. It came out in 1985.
The first year of WrestleMania.
Yeah. So you had Hulk Hogan, you had Roddy Piper, the Captain Lou. They were all on this album. It was kind of like a commercial.
It was like a Fat Boy rock thing.
Yeah. And I mean, and actually, if you look it up, like WWE, I think it's on like version 88 of how many albums they've come out with, like of their intro music and all this stuff. But this was the wrestlers actually performing. And so released in 1985 and the first WWF WWE. It was produced mostly by Rick Derringer with some assistance by Cyndi Lauper. This is the worst album I've ever heard in my entire life. Everything on this album is dog shit of the worst variety. One of the strangest tracks on the album is Roddy Piper covering the obscure Mike Angelo and the Idols track Fuck Everybody.
What?
And he renamed it For Everybody.
It's a complete opposite.
Oh, I know. I mean...
Okay.
Yeah. It completely changes the meaning of the song into complete nonsense, and Roddy can't sing for shit. Seriously, he sounds like someone is pulling out his testicle hair with a pair of tweezers. And Captain Lou's History of Music is the worst song I've ever heard in my life. Hideous, carnivalesque music, bland production, and Captain Lou's atrocious, hideous, craptastic singing. Listen to this and enjoy the horribleness.
Well, I remember that Lou had a video with Cyndi Lauper in it.
Oh.
And I wonder if it's that song.
I saw
it on MTV.
Okay.
Right?
We're going to have to YouTube that because maybe it'll jog my memory.
Because there was a song and it was bad.
Because Captain Lou was in Cyndi Lauper's
he played
video.
like her dad.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Cyndi was in his video where he sings. And I remember it was shitty. Why did he wear those rubber bands in his beard?
Oh, God.
Remember that?
I don't know. Maybe he just needed something to wrap around his bills.
Testicles.
Yeah.
I thought you were
balls,
testicles.
bills. Yeah. I'll go balls. Yeah. maybe it had a little beard down there for that.
Oh, man.
Oh, I know. It's scary to think of wrestlers singing, but I think even John Cena has come out with stuff. The wrestlers try to go to the music side, and I don't think it ever works. I think Hulk Hogan even did
I hate him. Have I mentioned that? I don't like Hulk Hogan. Never did.
I figure. Yeah.
I mean, he's just rips his shirt. He's like, and that mustache.
Oh,
that crazy mustache.
And the flat blonde hair.
Yeah, it looks like a wig. Fright wig.
Yeah. It's a scary granny. Yeah.
Yeah, that mustache, though, is off-putting. Probably catches food in it. Because he doesn't look sanitary in any way.
No.
He looks dirty. And
there's that. Yeah.
Smells of garbage and tanning lotion.
He is always greased up.
Gross. It's disgusting.
Oh,
speaking of disgusting, we're at the happy ending.
Hey, that's our song.
Ring the bell. It's time to go.
I know. 1, 2, 3.
Done. Winners, champion.
With the bell. Oh, God. It's been a good one. I mean, who would have thought we could wrap wrestling and music together?
Right. I mean, we haven't talked much.
Package.
Right. And we haven't talked about our wrestling past. I mean,
no.
I'm not embarrassed about it. But
yeah,
wrestling has gotten worse. And I sound like I really sound old saying that, but wrestling used to be, back in my day, wrestling was good. Back in the flying V days.
Well, there's no sleeper hold anymore.
In the 1900s when wrestling was good.
Oh.
We're 1900s wrestling and the 2000s wrestling is sucking.
Oh, yeah. Back when they'd actually cut their foreheads with a
it was
razor
real
blade.
cuts. I never did do that.
No.
God.
I think they tried to convince you, but no.
Charles and I just want to say, if you want to watch wrestling videos on YouTube, the old good ones from the 1900s when wrestling was good.
Don't you have to flip a book to see the image moved to watch that?
And watch the Sportatorium good things. But don't watch the movie The Iron Claw because it's horrible. Have you seen it?
No.
Don't watch that.
Okay.
I'll watch that. Then. In fact, that one is a jackalope all the way through. None of that shit's true.
Oh.
It's jackalope. But speaking of jackalope, watch how the stories play out and remember that most wrestling isn't real.
Yeah.
So, I mean, wrestling and Jackalope Tales go hand in hand, really, if you think about it.
Yeah. I mean,
it's all a story.
They sometimes get hurt.
Right.
Because it's not always real, but it's real enough sometimes.
Right. But you can go back and see Liberace as a timekeeper. You can go back and see Bad Bunny wrestle.
Yeah, Bad Bunny's still doing it.
Right.
So,
so those are not jackalopes.
And we need Randy to find the video of us.
Yes. So Randy Brown.
Because I remember him having that big camera.
Oh, my God.
Sometimes.
It was giant, crazy camera with VHS tape in it.
Oh, yeah. Because, I mean, he wasn't always taping because he had to sell beer.
Right,
and gather tickets.
Those the cups.
Yeah, I know. The cheap ass would never hire anyone to help him. He tried to do everything.
Well, I mean,
sell beer and tickets.
It's good because cut out the middleman and we got more money.
Wow. Okay, thanks, Randy.
See?
Yeah. We got the shows
Randy.
thanks to you. But, so definitely like, subscribe, rate, leave us reviews. Shout outs to Dieterman1, who gave us a really cool review on Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, thank you.
On YouTube, we've got videos. Guy Lewis 477. I don't know what.
I think he might go by Guy.
Guy.
I'm just gonna say, is it Guy or Guy? Are you Canadian? If he's Canadian, it's Guy Lewis. Maybe he's a hockey player and he's Guy Lewis.
I'll just call him G.
Hey, G.
G. So G477, thank you so much for all the contacting us and just doing the comments. really helps, and it keeps us busy too. So,
Yep. And we'd like to thank you guys for listening. And please check our show notes and find us on all the socials. And join us next time as we ask, is it real or is it a jackalope tail?
Mm-hmm. Or is it a full Nelson?
Or a half one?
Half.
What's the difference between a half and a full Nelson?
I don't know.
Is it named after the kid from Simpsons?
Oh, I thought it was Nelson the band.
Oh, wait. Oh, maybe it is. The twins?
Because they're twins, and if it's a half Nelson, there's only one twin.
Right. Oh, look, yeah. You just answered it. High five.
Whoa.
Man.
Championship.
And fans of the half Nelson, I like them singly by themselves.
Right, then you're just seeing
together
double.
They're scary, like the Shining twins.
Oh God. Ooh.
Right?
I love the Shining
Twins together are scary.
But they're scary as well.
Right, so I'm for the half Nelsons.
Yeah.